Yo, yo, yo. So, since everybody wants to do this debate on Aboriginals and Africans, let's take it from a different angle. Let's beat their ass the way that they like to box. Since they like to go around circles and shit, and they like to allude to stuff instead of being on point, because that's mainly what the fuck they do. They be lying. Um, let's battle. Let me get where I gotta be real quick. Get where I gotta be real fast, and then we can get back into this. Okay, where is it at? Here we go. So, a lot of you know about a guy named Uncle Tom. But yeah, most of y'all know about a guy named Uncle Tom because that's the name they tell you about. And you listening to if you listen to people that are like pro African, they'll tell you that, yeah, or they'll call people Uncle Tom. Like, if you're a sellout or you're not good for black people, they'll call you Uncle Tom, which is extremely weird if you know the brother's story. And since we're talking about the whole Aboriginal African debate, it makes more sense to tell that they're agents and they work for the government. There's no way anybody can deny that anybody repping red, black, and green, Pan-Africanism, back to Africa, all that different shit, they're working for the government. They have no fucking choice. They can lie all they want. They can keep making shit up. They keep saying, no, we don't. We're the ones who care about the people. Now think about it. They've been talking that back to Africa shit for fucking 60 something years. Black people have went to shit. Straight shit. There's nothing that nobody can deny. And the only people that are talking loud are the dumb ones. Those are the only ones that you hear them allowing to speak, are the stupid ass people where you're like, why are they giving these motherfuckers like a voice? Like, why are you on the mic? Why are you even allowed to say something? This is ridiculous. You shouldn't be able to talk at all. So Josiah Henson, or Josiah, I think that's how you say his name. Josiah Henson is Uncle Tom. But the weird thing is, watch, hold on. The weird thing is the way they told this story. This is some real, like, sneaky, spooky shit, because at the end of the day, guys, it's showing that the people on the Aboriginal trail are correct. And these other people have to be wrong, because why would you lie about something like this? They tell you about Nat Turner. They tell you about Harriet Tubman. They tell you about Malcolm X. They tell you about Martin Luther King. But when it comes to, the sellouts and stuff like that, they use this name, Uncle Tom. But this guy was not, like, I'll start it off like this. This guy not only escaped slavery, but he escaped slavery with his wife and his kids. So before he comes back and saves at least 200 more people, he has already escaped with his wife and his children. This is not going to sound like a story that I would say racists would want black people to know, especially in that time. They wouldn't want black people to hear no story like that. Okay, why would the people that are claiming they're for black people, why would they use that name as an scapegoat to talk bad about a black person, knowing in truth what this man really did? That's what makes it weird. That's what makes it doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, why would you do that? The let me see. From the very first moments, Harriet Beecher Stout's debut novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin, was a smashing success. It sold out its 500,000 copy print run in 4 days in 1852, with one newspaper declaring that everybody has read it, is reading, or is about to read it. Soon, 17 printing press were running around the clock to keep up with demand. By the end of the year, or by the end of the first year in print, the book had sold more than 300,000 copies in the U.S. alone, and another million in Great Britain, and went on to become the best-selling novel of the 19th century. Now, this became the best-selling novel of the 19th century. They banned it. Today, it is banned, claiming because of racial slurs. But take it from a real American Negro. I wouldn't have banned it. I wouldn't have banned it at all. I don't have a problem with the story at all, especially seeing how it's going to lead you to what really happened. All you get is propaganda. All you get is people running their mouth, talking about what happened, what is, and what isn't. But none of them are giving the truth about these stories. People tell, oh, he would put cotton in slaves, pouch that didn't have them. No, forget all that. I have a theory on why Josiah Hanson's story was diluted and manipulated into this Uncle Tom sellout bootlicking thing, because this is a disgrace. We give more props to Malcolm X, who slept with white women and did drugs and all types of shit. It's like Josiah didn't do none of that. We give more props to Martin Luther King, who had babies out of wedlock and cheated on his wife and possibly did deals with the government. But Josiah didn't do none of that. So why has he got to be the Tom? Why does he have to be the bootlicker? Why does his name have to go in history as this nickname referring to a sellout, when all these other people sold out actually, and he didn't at all? It says, Henderson rescued 200 enslaved people, including his own brother, and helped build a 500-person freeman shelter called Dawn, that was known as one of the final stops on the Underground Railroad. But before all this, he was brutally enslaved for more than 40 years. Okay, so this guy was enslaved for 40 years. He escapes with him and his family and his wife to Canada. Instead of being a punk and just staying in Canada, he ends up coming back and setting free 200 more people. Now, the weird thing is, the numbers are kind of the same as Harriet Tubman. This is where this Dane Calloway stuff is interesting, when he's like, oh, they made up Harriet Tubman. Hold on 1 second, guys. You outside? No, 15, like 10 minutes, I'll be there, bro. For sure. Peace. So the record on the books, we don't know if it's true, but the record is Harriet Tubman freed hundreds of slaves, and she could have freed thousands more if they only knew that they were slaves. Okay, this is her quote. Not saying that Dane is correct, not saying he's incorrect. What if Harriet Tubman is not real? this minty, what was the name? What is it? Minty Tubman? Something like that. I know y'all like, what the hell are you talking about? I believe that's what it is. Hold on. Real quick. There's a person named Minty something. I don't know if I have it anymore. I'd have to look it up again. But that's neither here nor there. The whole point is this of what I'm saying. The numbers are the same. One has a theory about them not being real, and the other one has been basically wiped out of history by being given a false narrative and a false name. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because I've heard a few people talking shit about the Indian thing lately, whether it's the panties or the esoteric groups. And what I have to say is, if it's not true, and we're just coming off the cuff and not making any fucking sense, then why is there so much weird shit behind this slavery that was supposed to be out in the open? Like, why did African slaves have seeds on them? Now, you tell me something. You tell me people are going to be stripped of a language, a religion, a life, taken across the shores, beat up, raped, all types of stuff. But they would allow you to bring seeds and food with you. But you're all enchained on the bottom of the boat. We've seen the drawings, we've seen the pictures of what they describe slavery as. It never said anything about these people bringing seeds with them. But now if you look up historically, it's the African who came with the first seeds and they planted this and they brought this over here and all this different stuff. And you're like, okay, so women are making it out of slavery with dogs and pits. Men are dying. But for some reason, this woman snuck through, kind of like Assata Shakur. But okay, this woman snuck through. All this stuff's going down. People are beat, raped, sold, all that stuff. But the Africans are coming over here off the slave boat with planting seeds. A guy has a graceful story about escaping slavery and helping people escape slavery. They throw it under the rug. They give it a wish-wash name that these Pan-Africans, C.I.A., end up taking on and using it as a, insult to people that think different than them. But it's supposed to be directed towards people that sell out, even though the only people that are selling out are the panties. This is interesting. Why did they never tell us this story? And why was it hidden by a lie about a sellout guy when he actually is a very strong, noble dude? See, they didn't say Harriet Tubman got her family out of slavery. This man not only escaped slavery, he gets his wife and his kids out. Then he goes back into the trenches, gets 200 more people plus his brother out of slavery. And they would not tell us the story. And the only way you would find out this story is if you look past the name Uncle Tom and got to the real person. That's a very strong story. I think it would have done great as inspiration. You know, people always talk about John Brown and all that. We wouldn't even have needed John Brown if we would have just knew the true story of Josiah Henson, aka Uncle Tom. Why don't the panties bring up this story? You know, since we just don't want to be African and we're a disgrace and all this different stuff. Well, you guys do a lot of research, but for some reason you didn't know this. That's odd. That's odd. You guys know everything about Egypt. You know everything about West Africa. Hell, you know everything about the white man and everybody else's religions and customs and stuff. That's why we're not supposed to be messing with them, right? Because you know you're original African, okay? Why don't you know about Josiah Henson? And why did you play this man's legacy out as a sellout? When he did more than I think any slave story. I mean, there's many others. Henry Box Brown, much respect, much respect. But hmm, that's interesting. It is interesting that he is known as Uncle Tom. The panties turn that into a derogatory statement towards black people that are what they call sellouts. But then some of them aren't sellouts at all. Some of them are just smart and prestigious, and they call them sellouts. But these people were lying about who this man was the whole time, but they claim that they know everything. See, if they want to play, let's play. Even though I lost my page, I didn't lose my wisdom. Till the next time, guys. Goes.